Mr. De Silva, second by Dr. Murphy. Thank you. Agenda questions. Please limit your questions at this time to resolutions under new business on this agenda. As a matter of fairness, you are asked to limit your questions to no more than one and your remarks to no longer than 3 minutes. If you are here representing a group, please identify yourself, the group, and your position in the group. If you are here as an individual, please give us your name and address. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes. Please specify the resolution you are referring to in your question.
Evelyn Slapbarrow, 43 Thunderhead Place. So resolution Q, other capital project, I wanted to just find out if there have, what changes, if any, have been made to the plan that's being submitted with the application.
Absolutely. The reason why that resolution is on for this evening is it is a revision to what was done in November with sending the information to the state of New Jersey to have them approve it. There was some specific language they wanted within the resolution, specifically the last line that says that we're not seeking state aid funding for this project, as well as the definition of calling it an other capital project. That was not in the first resolution. Revising it to include that language now satisfies what the Department of Ed is looking for.
Okay, so there's no other changes to any of the presentations that
just a mere changing of the language to meet what they want to say.
Okay, and then the AA, the storefront replacement, can you describe, I guess, at when the project's going to begin and about how long it's expected to last?
That project is going to begin shortly. It's going to begin during the school year, before the school is let out. It's going to consist of going around the Building 5 exterior, the envelope if you will, replacing the curtain wall, replacing windows. The contractor is aware that a portion of that building is used for athletics, so that part of the building we're going to stay away from while athletics is currently going on. However, the remainder of the building will be able to be addressed. And it is anticipated to be completed sometime in early summer before the fall athletics begin.
Okay, and that includes the concession stand remodeling, yes?
That does not. This is separate from that project.
Okay.
That project is currently out for bid right now. It's expected back next week, so we're looking to award that at one of the February meetings.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, thank you. Dr. Schoen.
I do. A couple of things this evening. Our administrative team coordinated an outstanding professional development day for our teachers on January 15th. Pre-K to 5 teachers had a choice PD day. This was a first for us. All teachers and our paraprofessionals had the opportunity to choose a teacher-run workshop in the morning. Feedback about this opportunity was outstanding, and we look to make it a tradition. So teachers teaching teachers. It was really great. Our secondary teachers were able to take part in a variety of PD experiences as well. 2 notable PD opportunities was Nikki Van Ness took our social studies and our business education teachers to the World Trade Center, and it was there they had their professional development through workshops, which was great. And pre-K to 12 physical education teachers received PD in Ply Yoga, which is a really cool thing that they'll be able to turnkey to our students. So it was a great day all around. A lot of positive feedback. I want to thank our administrative team, and certainly under Christine Zimmerman, who kind of oversees PD in our district all the way around. So that's the first part. The second part is I'd like to turn over my report, if I could, to Christine Zimmerman, our Director of Curriculum Instruction, and John Pascal to talk about our career pathways, which is something we've been researching for some time. And Christine will give you a little bit of that history, and then John will bring it home for us. Right, John?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, good evening, everybody. John and I are really super excited to come to you tonight with the culmination of about a year and a half's worth of careful work, deliberate thinking from the high school staff led by John and his administrative team. So John's really going to give you all the details. I'm just going to give you the setup. It all started October of 2016 at New Jersey School Boards down in Atlantic City. the very last workshop, on the very last day, Northern Valley was talking about a program that they had where they tweaked their course sequences to make it something that would really appeal to kids and who are thinking about career pathways. Brought it back to John, explained to him all the reasons why this idea gave me goosebumps for Mahwah, and John picked it up and made it better than anything that I shared with you. So I'm going to hand over the mic to you, John, and here you go.
Thank you. Good evening. First, I'd like to thank the administrative team and the faculty for providing input for all of this work that I'm going to share with you tonight. And secondly, there are some brochures that you have with you that we'll look at tonight. Those brochures were created by our Design Collective Club under our advisor, Caitlin Gold, who's one of our visual arts teachers. Okay. Let's try it.
Can I help, John?
It was working before.
Okay, talk amongst yourself.
Let's try it again. Maybe. Okay. So, there are 16 national career clusters that we talk about nationally and that the New Jersey Department of Education speaks about. Those 16 clusters are listed up there for you. And basically, the Department of Education and nationally schools, high schools are looking to be sure that students are prepared for college and are prepared for the careers that they're interested in. And so when you look at this list, you'll see a lot of areas that our students are indeed interested in. And so we did take some time to look at the career clusters and all the information on the Department of Education website. And what we did in order to plan the pathways for college and career readiness is we looked at a lot of different information. First, we met with teachers and staff from the Northern Valley School District to see what their program looked like and to see how they went about their program. And then supervisors met over the course of 2 years, along with input from faculty. And then at department meetings this year, teachers were able to look at the rough draft and give us a lot of input. And we did a lot of revisions in terms of that when developing our college and career readiness pathways. One of the areas we looked at was our Naviance program. Naviance is the program that students use at the high school level. It's for college and career. And basically, it's where students do career interest surveys, all their college applications, selecting colleges, so forth and so on. And so we went back and we looked at 3 years worth of data from kids who graduated from our school to see what were they interested in, what career majors were they intending on studying, okay, and what their career interests were. And that's what helped form the career pathways we selected for our school, because it was important for us to customize this for the Mahwah High School community. And so those are some of the steps that we took in terms of moving forward with this project. These are the 8 pathways that we came up with. Government and social sciences, business administration, performing and communication arts, visual and integrated design, and then engineering and technology, information and computer science technology, biotechnology research and health science, and option 2 programs. The visual and integrated design, all the way down to the biotechnology research, those 4 are what we would call our STEAM pathways. And so you know we've been talking about our STEAM facility and have proposed that and are working on that district-wide. Okay, and so along with that, we wanted to be sure that we had an appropriate curriculum for our facility. And in your brochure, if you look at your brochure, the white one, you can better see these career pathways. And you can see the elective courses that we offer for students, and here are the ones for STEAM, in our school district. I have the opportunity to visit a lot of school facilities, and I'm always attracted to a facility that looks great and has a lot to offer for kids. And then when I go to their website and I look at their courses, I always walk away disappointed because they're offering the same courses that they offered from the beginning of time. And so one of the things that I am proud of with the administrative team and with the support really of the Board of Education through our instructional committee is we have had the ability in my time here as principal to have a lot of AP courses created for students and to present students with electives that are relevant and meaningful to them and based on their interest. And so these are some of the courses in the pathways. We put all the information together in this website. Okay, many pathways to career and college readiness, preparing for the future. And on the left here, this will be available tomorrow for the public, are our pathways. So I'm just going to pick one, and I've actually provided this one for you, the engineering and technology. So you have that paper here. So each pathway has an associated sheet like this. And so let's just look through that so I can give you an idea. In the first section are the recommended course plan for students. It is what we feel students should take in high school to be prepared for any choice in the future. The second column, because this is engineering and technology and in the STEAM pathway, are the required science and mathematics courses for that pathway. And then you see the list of electives and the grade level in which we offer them for students. The last column are linked to our life and career, 21st century life and career standards and our technology standards, and then below the related occupations. So let's look a little bit at this. There are 8 pathways. Students can elect to be in a pathway, but what's unique about our program, different than other high schools, or maybe different from your experience when you were in high school, is you don't have to stay in a pathway. So I envision this really being used 3 ways. 1, you can just pick electives the way we have always picked electives, a la carte. Pick what you want, take what you want, as long as you meet the prerequisites and the grade level requirements, you're good to go. However, I think it's helpful for students to see the sequence of elective courses, particularly if you're interested in engineering. You want to see, well, what are the courses we offer? What are the years we offer them in? Perhaps what are some of the prerequisites? So that maybe for you, if you really know that's what you want to go into as a career or as an interest, you can look at that and know that in advance. And you may go into that and say, these are my courses, great. You may go into that, take the first couple of courses and go, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was about. I'm not interested in this. I want to pick something else. And that serves really as a benefit for students in helping them hone and figure out what they're interested in. Okay? So students get to pick to be in a pathway. They don't have to pick a pathway, it's optional. Okay? They can bop in, bop out, pick electives a la carte if that's what they want to do. So if you look at this elective sequence, you'll notice some of the courses here in this column. Let's say I take technology and engineering principles, and then I say, and then I go on to the next year and I pick something from the course there, and then I'm not sure I want to be an engineer anymore. I may want to go into biotechnology. So if you look at the biotechnology, you don't have that sheet, but I have it up here. You'll notice that there is crossover in the courses. Okay? So if I took technology and engineering principles originally in the engineering pathway, it's still used in this pathway. okay? So there is overlap in the pathways, and that gives flexibility to students. You will notice that there are 2 courses in the pathway list that we currently do not have. The T-Cubed Inventions and Innovations and the Biotechnology course. We are working on those courses. Really, in order for us to offer those courses, we need to be in the facility, okay? So we're going to start working on those courses and start to get our ideas down with Christine Zimmerman, who's our Director of Instruction, present those to the instructional committee so that when we move into the new building, hopefully in September of 2019, we're ready to move with those electives. The last part is sharing the information. So, this week, we will send home a letter to all 9th grade students and 8th grade students, current 8th grade students, with a letter, okay, and a brochure about the career pathways. Tomorrow, we will send an email to the whole high school community with a letter and an electronic copy of the brochure, but students in grade 9 and students in grade 8, okay, they will get a hard copy, U.S. Postal Mail, okay? At 8th grade Parent Guidance Night, Mr. Gliada will be presenting and providing parents with this bigger brochure that I provided with you tonight. You have the draft copy, there were minor adjustments to it, but we will be providing that. We have all this information on a website, and I have links ready to go on the high school website that we will turn on tomorrow for the public to see, okay, which kind of outlines all of this information, okay? Does anybody have any questions?
Ms. Lockhart does, Jen.
If you pick a pathway, do you get preferential treatment for those electives?
That's a good question, okay? So what I would say to you, based on my experience of scheduling, okay, that shouldn't be an issue. We always give preferential treatment going from seniors to juniors to sophomores to freshmen because of how long they're in the building, okay? We will have to look at that, okay? We're also going to have to determine, because we just don't know yet, we have to determine how many of these electives are you going to be involved in and take. You can take as many as you want, obviously, but is there going to be a number of electives that you take credit-wise that we either validate or determine that you're in the engineering and technology pathway, okay? I think it's too soon for us to tell what that is. I think we have to be flexible as we implement, okay? We are already speaking about that with the administrative team, but certainly we have always tried to give flexibility where we can. So most kids fall in the flow, it's not a problem. Every once in a while, a student will come to us and say, this is what I know I want to do this definitely, and we work with that student to make sure they get the courses that they need. We really do a good job with that, I think, and the guidance department tries to do the best that they can with that. Any other questions? Yes?
When you had the chart up of the, sorry, the chart with the columns, and I was thinking, high school is also a social experience, right? Social maturity and transition. And if I get into a pathway, how will my social experience be? If I'm in the biotechnology one, will I run into students who are in the information technology pathway, for example? How will my Venn diagram,
Correct.
social circles work out?
In my experience in our building, I think kids in different pockets within our school already interact with one another. I don't really think that will change, okay? In the Option 2 programs, which we didn't talk about, but is one of the pathways, the Option 2 program allows us the ability to create a unique program for kids. There are plenty of ways in option 2 to create programs for kids that are unique and meet their needs, okay? And so that's one of the pathways that we actually added this year that we didn't have last year. So I think in terms of the social circles, I think kids will have crossover, whether it's in activities, whether it's in sport, or whether it's in core courses. And lunch. Yes, sir.
In regards to option 2 program, how does it fit the requirements for graduation as far as credits necessary? How are they credited out?
So the state of New Jersey requires 110 credits. Mahwah High School, Mahwah School District requires 125 credits, okay? Option 2 programs are generally in the elective credit area, all right? So it depends on what the program is. Some of it is, depending on what the program is, some of it is by time. So for example, let's take community service. Community service is an option 2 program. For every 27 and a half hours of community service a student performs, that's approved in advance and meets our requirements, they can receive 1 credit. They can receive a maximum of 10 credits in that area to use towards graduation. Can they earn 20 credits? They can, but they can only use 10 of them towards graduation. Most kids in that area don't get close to 10. Most kids in that area usually earn around 5.
And then they take normal courses?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
John, I just wondered, the biotech research and health science, so for health science, are you thinking kids who might want to do sort of a health-related field, maybe medicine, nursing, those kinds of things? And
As
why,
well as the science.
and the science, and why those two sort of together? Because it just seems like if we wanted to, it seems like health science could sort of encompass a lot of, you know, physical therapy, occupational,
Right.
you know. Why put biotech, that research piece, how did that sort of relate with health science? I'm not seeing that.
I think when we looked at the pathways, we didn't want to, at start, we wanted to offer what we thought students were interested in based on our 3 years of data. And we didn't want to have too many pathways,
Right.
okay? This, for me, is a starting point for us.
Okay.
It may very well be, you know, that we split somewhere. It may very well be that we say, you know what, this has worked for 5 years, kids aren't interested in this anymore, now they're interested in this. And we have to create, you know, or move to a different pathway. And I think we try to do that in terms of meeting students' needs with electives, as we meet with the instructional committee and speak with kids, either through the principal's advisory committee or through their teachers to get information like that. So I don't look at this as like, this is it and we're done. To me, this is a living, as a starting place for us and a living document.
I just have one additional question. Has there been any thought to any sort of research components with any of these pathways? I know biotech research is an you know, notion, but even like during a senior year, you know, a project or those kinds of things in any of the individual pathways? Because I know that some schools do that, and it does seem like it can be a very kind of preparatory thing for colleges.
Yes.
If there's a way to incorporate a different path, you know, in each
Correct.
one, but a small project
Right.
or some culmination. You know, you've done these pathways, is there a way then to sort of, I would say, you know, give it sort of legs to say, okay,
Absolutely.
what do they kind of learn?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you. We have the honors STEAM capstone research and internship,
Right.
which appears in a lot of the STEAM pathways. We also offer independent study
And are
as
people
a
doing
standard
that
or
this year?
independent
Because I
study.
know this was the first year.
Yes, we
Okay.
do have some students who are
Okay.
in that this year.
Good.
And then from time to time, we do have students who will come forward and want to do an independent study in a particular area. Staff members have been really good about being mentors for kids. They kind of volunteer to do that. But if at any time a student had an interest in a particular area that we didn't have, and we were going to do an independent research like you're saying, we certainly would allow students to do that and give them credit for that based on some parameters that we set up in conjunction with them.
Great. Thank you. It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thanks.
And you as well, Christine.
How might the Pathways program be integrated with our special education, how might our special education students benefit from the Pathways program?
We did a lot of thinking about that because we want our pathways to be inclusive for all students. Okay, that's really important for us and has been important for us. There are electives in each areas for our special, that are certainly applicable to our special ed students, okay? One of the areas that we can look at for special ed are the Option 2 programs, because it gives us the ability to customize. Some of those programs in that area you see fit right in there, okay? We were also talking about, and we haven't made a definitive decision on this. So if we say you need X amount of credits to be pathway whatever, okay? It may very well be that in a particular case, like in the example of a special education student, that those requirements are a little bit different because they have other requirements that they have to take. So there has to be flexibility for them, okay? But certainly, when we have the T3 inventions, innovations and inventions, and the makerspace going, and the STEAM facility, okay, I envision that a place for all kids, because those courses, humanoid robotics, technology and engineering principles, all of those courses are hands-on courses that any kid can participate in, no matter their ability level. And teachers are really good about making accommodations because they're project-based, so you can make different requirements depending on who's involved in that course.
Can I add something?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
One of the things that gave me goosebumps when I heard Northern Valley's presentation at school boards was the description that it's open to whatever level of student. So you can be in a lower level math class that's got all the supports there, or you can be in the highest level math class for your grade level, and you can still be in the Pathways program. That to me was it. That was the thing that made me tear up and think, it's really open to everyone. And when I came back to John, that was the biggest thing that I kept talking about. Because you have other school districts, and not to denigrate them in any way, but they're really exclusionary. You're accepted into a university program, you're accepted into the Bergen County Academies program, you're in the math and science program there. Everything is high level. And that's the kind of student you are coming in, that's the expectation that they have of you all the way through. Not to mention if you change your mind, as my son did. So math and science, ended up a history major. But this is beautiful because all of our kids, if you have an interest, you can be a freshman who is in a math course, different from someone else in the Pathways program. You're going to grow up to be a radio tech person, radiology, but you're in the Pathways program with someone who's going to be a surgeon one day. But you're both interested in the health field, so you're both in that program. So that's one of the really exciting things about it.
When you guys roll this out, when it's rolled out, is it going to be sort of an optional thing, or is this going to be sort of a mandatory
It's optional.
choice? Okay.
You decide.
Okay.
So some students may elect, some students may not, which is perfectly fine.
Okay. Because I could see some students going, oh my God, I have to pick. So it should, okay. So an optional, but if you choose it, then it sort of gives you specific.
What I like about it is if you're interested in an area, so if you're interested in the art area, you just may not have a clue until you're like a junior, maybe the end of junior year, until what do we offer? So you can look now and say, oh, these are the kinds of things. This is where I need to work towards, but it's optional.
And John did a great job also taking a look at college course books and what majors are requiring and what that looks like, so that it was a deliberate plan for what our pathways would look like that would reach and have the kids very well situated to be ready for those kinds of college programs.
And as a whole supervisory team, I know Dennis Jarvis is in the audience, I know that all the supervisors worked with John, so it was a huge collaborative effort, so very thoughtful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't believe we have any currently collaborative efforts with Rempo College, but don't they have a big health services program there? Is there-
I'm not sure what their program is at Ramapo, off the top of my head, but certainly we do have, we do collaborate with Ramapo College, we collaborate with Fairleigh Dickinson University, Seton Hall University, and Bergen Community College. We do have articulation agreements with all of those universities.
John, thank you.
Thank
To
you.
you, to the administrators, you know,
Exciting.
this is incredibly exciting. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Luger finishes technical school. He has a report for us this evening. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I do have a report for you this evening. Just on a few items, bidding wise, we did have, as I've been reporting the past couple meetings, the cell phone bid that was opened last week. It's currently with our attorney, who's reviewing the proposals that we received. We expect to have the review back from the attorney hopefully by the end of this week, and then we will discuss that amongst the Finance and Facilities Committee for further action on that. Regarding a couple other bids, I had mentioned a little bit earlier that the bid for the concession stand is going to be opened, or going to be due back next week. Along with that are two other bids that are currently out there for the high school library, the curtain wall for the library windows. That is going to be due back next week, as well as for the interior of the library space at the high school for the digital media lab. Those three bids are all currently on the street and will be due back next week. Lastly, regarding proposals and items that are out there, we have two proposals out there for Health Benefits Advisor. It's a professional service, so that's a proposal, so it's a little bit different than a bid, as well as for Construction Manager for assistance during the STEAM project. Again, both are due next week. Will be reviewed by our attorney, as always, for compliance with all of the necessary paperwork that needs to submit, and then will be reviewed internally before we award. And last but not least, just a quick mention on the budget for this year. We're in a little bit of a holding pattern for our budget meetings for when they're going to occur. The reason for that is the governor's budget address has not been finalized. The date has not been finalized. As is common when a new governor or a new leadership team comes in Trenton, that date of when the budget address occurs can be pushed a little bit. I was informed yesterday that it may be as late as March 13th. Typically, it is the last week of February. It's an important indicator for the district because shortly after that budget address is made is when we receive our state aid figures. So we will keep everybody posted as I have information. I'll of course share with the Finance and Facilities Committee and the full board as far as what our calendar is going to look like for dates when we need to submit the preliminary budget down to the county for approval. As well as for the budget hearing and the adoption of the budget that typically occurs in late April, early May. So again, as those dates become available, I will, of course, turn around and share it with everybody. That's my report today. Thank you.
Very much. Mr. Fair, do you have anything for us this evening?
I do not.
Okay. My report. First of all, I want to let everyone know that tonight we are recording our meeting for the first time as a board. We have a recording going on right now, so if there are any little glitches, we're trying to work them out to trial run today. So thank you, hi everybody. Secondly, I'd like to welcome and introduce Dave May, who's the Town Council Liaison to the Board of Education. So I thank you very much for volunteering for that position, and look forward to working with you. Thank you. So congratulations to Jeff Bittner. This year, Jeff Bittner has been chosen as the conductor of the NJSMA Region 1 Symphonic Band. He is honored to have the opportunity to work with top 100 student musicians in North Jersey. And the concert is Sunday, January 28th at 3 p.m. at Parsippany Hills High School. Next is the North Jersey Regional Chorus. We're pleased to announce that 11 Mahwah High School students were accepted to the North Jersey Region Choruses last weekend. Congratulations to Carolyn Navratish, Samantha DeVries, Thomasina Melli, Lydia Charon, Sophia Garvin, Aaron Lockwood, Dante Mejia, Aidan Mossman, Matthew Slockbauer, Rebecca Solomon, and Olivia Leto, who came in third out of 79 soprano ones who auditioned. So, go T-Birds. The Region 1 band results. Congratulations to the following Mahwah High School band members on their acceptance by competitive audition into the 2018 North Jersey Region 1 band. That would be Kristen Springer on flute, she's first chair, symphonic band. Maxwell Mejia on oboe, first chair, symphonic band. Jonathan Sang, clarinet. Matthew Slockbauer, trumpet. Juliet Corliss, French horn. Justina Kender, trombone, first chair, wind ensemble. And Sam Darrow, mallet percussion, first chair, symphonic band. Next, I just have a couple of things that I want to remind everyone about that are happening. There's going to be a Learning to Let Go mini retreat for teens and parents, the teens aged 13 through 16 at Ramapo College on Saturday, February 24th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And there will be a few workshops going on. And the teen workshop will talk about handling stress in a more positive way, improving concentration and focus, dealing with emotions, and practicing kindness to themselves and others, while the parents will discuss learning to respond instead of reacting to their teens, which is always a good thing for us to learn, and practicing kindness to themselves and their teens. The two workshops are happening at the same time, but in two different rooms. And that has come across on our the attachments that come out from Mr. Pascal. And the next is just a reminder about the Mahwah Municipal Alliance. They're presenting a screening of the film entitled Dying in Vain, and that's at Ramapo College, the Sharp Theater, and the doors open at 6:30 p.m. on the 31st? 31st. Thank you very much. And I believe that is all that I have this evening. We don't have any, our committees were just formed, so in your agenda you don't see any committees listed with any members from the committees. I'll get you in 1 second. But if there are any committee members here that have reports, they were going to give them this evening. Yes, Mr. Wojciechowicz.
I just want the public to know this was our first night of videotaping. The camera is behind you. It's a first step, a continuing step on this by this board to increase our transparency with the community. The beauty of this is, while it's not real time, it will be put on our website within a day or two, which will draw parents to our website who may not have gone there before and who have asked questions that were clearly on our website. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the work that Slockbauer has done for the past, what, 6 years?
However many.
A long time. In fact, while I was on sabbatical, that was my one key attachment with the Board of Education. I would look at those videotapes. So on behalf of the board and the community, thank you.
Thank you.
You can take time off now.
Oh, I was just given some more information about another presentation. Athletic injuries in young adults and non-opioid treatment options, which will be taking place at the Valley Center for Health and Wellness, right here on MacArthur Boulevard, Thursday, March 29th at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So thank you very much. It's through the Mahwah Municipal Alliance once again. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Conoco, for bringing that to my attention. Board member remarks and additional comments. Reports on the other.
So you have for, working?
No.
Move forward? That's the battery's dead.
I'll try to run a whole meeting.
All that budget, we can't afford it on.
That's right.
Glad your mic's not on today.
All right, so for policy committee, on 14N, you're gonna see one policy, excuse me, and 10 regulations from the 7000 series. This is a project that we sort of took on last year to go through every series of all of our policies, just to make sure that everything is up to date. There are a couple of them that we looked and we were surprised at how long they've been around without sort of revamping. And there were a couple of them, not many, there were a couple of them that really sort of needed to be redone. So the ones that are on the agenda tonight are only the ones that there were changes to. Some of them were minor, some of them were, a little more extensive. We looked at all of them, when I say all of them, I mean all of them. It took us a couple of months to get through. We're glad to say that we're doing the 1,000 series now, and that's as big as it is, so that should be pretty easy. That should be about a month. So we had our first meeting tonight in the new policy committee. I'll be the chair, and Leslie and Ben will be joining me on that committee. So thank you in advance for your hours of fun.
I look forward
and
to
enjoyment.
Thank you.
Any other, Mr. Gaffney?
Oh, please.
I have two reports. One is from Finance and Facilities, a little update on the STEAM project. And since our last report in November, there's been quite a bit of activity in developing and refining the designs for the program and interaction between district staff and our architects. In March, we probably will be bringing to the board a little more detailed presentation on final design, final budget, and hopefully get the project out on the street for bidding. Seems like we're doing a lot of bidding, stimulating the economy very nicely. And we hope to get a shovel on the ground sometime this summer, so come September 1, 2019, we open a building that's open for business and can accommodate the needs of our new Pathways program. So it's a very, very exciting time in the district in terms of construction, but more importantly in terms of the educational opportunities that we're providing our students at all levels. I'm also reporting on negotiations activity. We're in the process of negotiating a follow-on agreement with the supervisors union and with the administrators union. We've met with both parties. The principals organization, the administrators organization provided us a proposal which we're digesting. We hope to get back to them shortly. And we're moving forward.
Let's see if this works. I don't think.
Put on.
Oh, it's on.
Switched on?
There we go. I'll just speak loudly. It's a little outdated in that we moved the meeting from last week, but I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed watching the Professional Development Day on Twitter. I saw that the staff seemed to take to it. Melody Meadows has come on board, which for me as a parent of a student there, I thoroughly enjoy, seeing a different side of the school, seeing a different side of the day, what goes on. And I can freak out a 5-year-old as to know what's happened during the day. And I bring it up and she wonders how I know. But it's great to watch, and it's great to watch Ms. DeVito and Ms. Zimmerman, they speak back and forth and bring up different articles and different ideas and different, educational or technology things that people are doing and bringing to the district. So kudos to you all. It's just another avenue of which we can see what's happening in the district and be part of it. So.
I'm glad you're bringing that up, and I know I don't have the mic, but Dennis was instrumental in the live streaming of what it is that's going on PD Day specifically. Christine sent something out and said, tweet what it is that's happening, let everybody know what's happening, and we find teachers looking at it. We're in the middle of the meeting tonight, and I leaned over, I said, Dennis, get off your phone, right? Because we're in the middle of a board meeting. He goes, but I'm tweeting, right? So he finishes doing it, and then he proves it to me. So he shows it to me, and then 5 minutes later, he shows me the response that he's getting for the tweet that he did in the meeting about Pathways. That's live. That's really, really a cool thing to do. And to be able to freak out a 5-year-old, know what's going on. It's just like
It makes me feel a little more important.
But I'm glad you brought that up. Dennis was instrumental in that. That's your adequate.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Actually, I don't want to put Christine on the spot, but we have a Parent Academy ESL thing coming up shortly. I don't know if you want to mention anything about that?
Actually, it was yesterday.
Or yesterday.
Last night was, thank you to the board who approved that. Mercedes Blanco is the teacher running that program. We had over 40 parents, all different backgrounds. The thought was that perhaps they would split them by ability level, and I got a report from Mimi Lazansky, our supervisor of world language and ESL, who talked to Mercy today, the teacher. And Mercy said the parents just enjoyed each other so much that they didn't want to be split into 2 one-hour classes. They want to meet every week for 2 hours as a big group. And we couldn't have had a better kickoff. 40-something folks, awesome. And the word is out there, and I can imagine it only growing. So thank you to the board for that. It's something brand new for us, and the parents just so appreciated that opportunity. So thank you.
But kudos right back at you, Christine, because the Parent Academy was something that you started last year that you thought would be real beneficial. And it is amazing to me the things that we are talking about tonight were already in place, we already started talking about them, and the STEAM building is almost the culminating piece of it. It's for what it is we already have to make better, as opposed to putting things in it later on. The parent academy can go into the professional development space, which is also the lab. The Pathways program are with courses that already exist that we packaged differently and added to because we could have a facility that could accommodate a new course. We're doing things in the right way, in a thoughtful manner, but it's because of the administrative team and the teachers that we have in place. It's the only reason why this is becoming a reality, and it's really cool stuff. It
Absolutely.
really is.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Okay, I just have, I'm now the liaison to the Mahwah Schools Foundation, so I just wanted to let everyone know that they are looking for volunteers for the Thunderbird Run, which is April 22nd. They really could use volunteers, so if anyone's interested, please contact them. They're accepting applications for their grants, so get those in, and if you have any questions, go to their website, and they can answer the questions. And then their next event is Casino Night, and that is Thursday, March 1st, at Seasons. And the doors will open at 6 o'clock p.m. and you can register to attend, purchase journal ads, sponsor games, tables, whatever at their website, themsf.org. So thank you very much. Look forward to working with them. And the other thing that I just wanted to mention is it's a sort of a community relations thing that after our board meetings, some of us go and play trivia at Mahwah Bar and Grill. So if anyone would like to join us, you are more than welcome to come and join us, help us with trivia, and ask us any questions that you would like. So, just going out to you. That's all that I have. A little shout out, yeah. That's all that I have this evening. Okay, we have old business. We have a motion to move old business. Mr. Wendrikowitz, seconded by Ms. Conoco. Please take roll call.
Okay, for old business, Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Mr. Kaczmarski,
Yes.
Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Ms. Mavertish,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
Mr. Wendrikowitz,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
and Ms. Barron.
Yes. Okay, now I have new business. I'd like to take A through F. May I have a motion to proceed on that? Mr. Gallo, seconded by Dr. Morphy. Any questions, comments?
A through F or F?
A through FF, double F. Thank you.
Actually, just a quick question on Q, following up on Ms. Loxberger's question about the state STEAM project issue. That's not slowing us down at all, is it? I mean, it's just a sort of formality.
Not at all.
Yeah, okay.
All right, can you take roll call, please?
Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Mr.
Except,
Kaczmarski,
I'm sorry, I'm abstaining on check number 089233. My apologies.
Mr. Kaczmarski,
Yes.
Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Ms. Mavertish,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
Mr. Wendrikowitz,
I must say, this is the earliest I've seen where we've done summer school work. I'm very pleased with that. That's a good job. Yes.
Ms. Saccone, and Ms. Barron.
Yes. Next, we have new business. I'd like to take A through N. May I have a motion to proceed? Mr. Kaczmarski, seconded by Mr. Wendrikowitz. Anyone have any comments, questions? Everyone's good to go? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. De Silva,
Yes.
Mr. Gallo,
Yes.
Mr. Kaczmarski,
Yes.
Ms. Conoco,
Yes.
Ms. Mavertish,
Yes.
Dr. Morphy,
Yes.
Mr. Wendrikowitz,
Yes.
Ms. Saccone,
Yes.
and Ms. Barron.
Yes. Okay, public questions or comments. This section of public participation will be limited to 15 minutes.
Evelyn Slockborough, 43 Thunderhead Place. Two questions. Has there been any conversations regarding the exiting out of the high school parking lot? And have you been in contact with perhaps the, Mike Kelly, the engineer for the town?
The answer to that is, we've been in contact with the police department, and they're in the process of doing a traffic study for us. We have not received that at this point, so I'll follow up tomorrow and see where we're at with that.
Okay, great. And then the second question was actually another parent asked me if I could ask about it. because I have someone at the high school, so they don't generally come home sick as much, but I guess there's a lot of kids going home with the flu, I guess, and they were concerned about the amount of kids at the school and I guess exposure and whether there was, any communication going to be done regarding that.
I do. There's no doubt that it's flu season, and there are more kids who are getting the flu during this period of time. I have not received reports that have made the number of kids who have the flu outlandish, but what I can tell you is that Kyle has been in touch with our custodial staff, and we're extra cleaning all the time, and on the weekends to make sure that we're more disinfected rather, than we have been. But I haven't received astronomical reports, but it is flu season.
Okay,
So,
okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Introduce yourself.
You did introduce
Steve always spoke.
All right.
Yeah, every meeting.
And a motion to adjourn. Ms. Monaco, second by Mr. Gallo. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.